Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video I'm going to cover the Interchange map. If you're new to Interchange, this hopefully will be really helpful, covering all the spawns, extracts, keys of interest, scav boss, all that good stuff. I'm doing these for all the maps so you can have the most up-to-date information and hopefully it'll be really helpful. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So the first thing I want to point out is if you are new to Tarkov and you want to learn all these maps, I do have a map playlist. So after you watch this one, you can watch any of the other ones if you're interested. Make sure you go check them out after this video. But when it comes to the Interchange map, it is probably up there as the most profitable map in the game where you don't need any keys to make that money. Now, there are a lot of keys that will make the map more beneficial for you. And I'll put a screenshot up of the keys that I take in with me. But that is pretty much every key. So the ones that I would highly suggest that you try and get your hands on early if possible, but they might be a little bit expensive, is the Ultra Medical key. This one will have a LEDX spawn in there and it's just of really high value. So getting in there is really important, but the power needs to be on. So it's a little bit, you know, if you can get one early in a wipe, you'll actually make a bucket load of money because not many people will have that one early. It's one of the highest priority keys for the map. Then you got the KIBA 1 and 2 key. One of the first keys from Gunsmith Part 11. You have to get that from the quest. And then after that, you'll get the second key, which you can either get from a barter trade from Therapist, or you can find it inside the Interchange map. There is 2 locations, but I think one of them might have changed. So I will show those in the actual guide as well. As for the other keys to the map, the mess key or the Emercom key, that key is a really good key to make money or get from meds from the med store. But it also is needed for a task, as well as the OlI logistics key is needed for a task. As for the rest of the keys, I like the pharmacy key because it's just another way of getting meds if you're running low in meds when you're over on the idea side of the map. And then for the rest of the keys, it's all just like a little cheeky extra bit of money or the cash registers, and nothing really too crazy with that. With the new 2 key cards that have been added, which is 11SR and 21WS, the 11SR key is another extract, and early wipe, it's not really of the highest value for how expensive it is, but once it does drop in price a little bit, this one can actually make it can make the game a lot safer extracting quite considerably. So if you do pick it up, say for 1.5 million rubles, and that means you get 15 extracts out of it, that means you're paying 100,000 rubles to extract, but it's like a guaranteed safe extract, and on top of that, there is some spawns in there that will actually get you good money. As for the 21WS key, there was a really good video made by Geek, so I talk about it during the actual running through the map, and it does make a profit overall, but you have to, have the power on and go over there and loot it. So it depends on how you want to play the game. As for the map itself, 14 players, and it can be quite chaotic getting inside there, but once you do get inside, it is a lot better. Personally, I think it's one of the most difficult maps in the game due to the fact that there's so many angles and there's so many levels. So it's more squad orientated. You will find a lot more squads in there, but if you can push through the pain of getting in the side and that, you can actually make a lot of money on this map. As for the scav boss, he spawns in the middle of the map, and there's a little bit of a patrol path you can actually find that you'll be able to consistently kill him if he is there in the map. A lot of people do farm him because of the ammunition he has, the gear he has, including his body armor is really high value. And then also you do need to kill him 100 times for a task in the game. It's one of those things, there's going to be a lot of different kind of people with different objectives going into this map, but overall it is a really good map to learn. And if you are about to watch this for the first time and you are new to the Interchange map, I'd highly suggest loading this up on another monitor or your phone and then following me around the map so you can actually get your bearings and learn all the ins and outs of the map. So let's get into that. All right, guys, and welcome to Interchange. So for this map, there is 2 major corners that you need to worry about. This being the Emercon Extract corner, and then the far other corner, which is the Railway Extract. So opposite corners of the map is the 2 main extracts, and just to give you some bearings from Emercon, if you turn right and go down there, that's the power station, and if you go along the left-hand side, it's kind of just like an open highway, and there's a tower over there. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the inside of Interchange for this guide, but I will go to the power station for sure. And on the outside is nearly all the hidden stashes that you can loot. I'm not going to show them during this video, but I do have a separate guide for those hidden stashes that I'll have a link down below. As for Emercon Extract, this is the extract right here. Something I only just found out was this truck here, you can actually unlock with a factory key, but there's nothing in it. This is one of the most controversial extracts in the game for all the extract campers that hang out here. You can literally have people camp this from every area, like every spot in the area. They'll hide up in bushes on the side. I actually do my shooter board in heaven task up on that hill, up on that scaffolding right up top there. And people will literally hide all over the shop just to camp people heading to this extract. So just be careful with that. As you head forward, there are weapon crates and stuff you can loot, like on the back side of this. There are spawns over at the Emercon. There's one over here. There's another one along the other side there. There's also a spawn up the top there. There's a spawn inside this area right there. And there's like 2 more spawns along the road. So, if you spawn at Emercon, expect to have someone on both sides of you and potentially up on top of the ramp. It is actually one of the more difficult spawns. As well as that, scavs will spawn down the bottom here. This map has become a lot more interesting and diverse of recent with them adding the power to the power station and stuff like that. So there's a lot more movement across the map, which is kind of cool. If you do spawn on this side over here, generally I like to go straight underneath and in instead of going through like down the end on where we are. But there are spawns up along, so there's one up here, but there's also spawns along the end here. There's one near the shipping container area and also down the far end. And I would head directly in from there. You will run into one person on your left or right as you do that, so be careful of that. But you'll nearly always have to fight that fight. The first 3 or 4 minutes of Interchange getting inside is actually the hardest part of the map. Now, using this as a reference point, this is the back of OlI. And OlI will have a lot of your, let's say, barter trade items from, you know, like anywhere from gas analyzers, corrugated hoses, screws, bolts, propane tanks. There's just lots of different stuff. If you're looking for car batteries, for example, any of these bucket-looking shelf things here, car batteries can spawn in the bottom, and on the top will be spark plugs. So keep note of that. I'm not going to show you all the little corners and that, but if you go through this doorway here, go around the right-hand side, there is 2 offices completely filled with the computers for really good for flash drives, circuit boards, and all your computer parts. And on the left side, there's another office for computers as well. If you run along the back of OlI, you will find a heap more of these buckets like this. There's one there. There's one on the other side of that stuff there. You can see it from there. And then all on the other back shelf down there far end. Good for car batteries. And then on these shelves, you actually see they kind of stand out a lot more when the light's off. But the light bulbs here and here, you can find all your barter trade items in this store. I'm not going to show you every single little tiny spawn, but it's definitely something you should take note of. There are there's 4 of these little computer areas too, where you have 2 computers and you can get flash drive spawns inside of them. And there's a set of shelves at the front of the store. Like you can see how there's propane tanks on these ones, but there's a set of shelves here. So this one right here, the one right in front of me, and that's both sides here. Up on top of there, along here, up there, and along this side, that all spawns gas analyzers. You have the cash registers at the front. This takes the OlI register key. In the past, they used to be really good. Then they kind of nerfed the amount of cash that you can get from them. But on average, I think we worked out it was around 2,000 rubles now per cash register. It does add up over time if you were to loot them a lot. And if you were trying to level up, say, something like your attention skill or your search skill, it can help out with that. But generally, you don't find many people looting them anymore. There's another computer one here, and there's another computer one just on the other side of that. And that's worth taking note of. If you run along the back here, there is a whole little hidden office area that a lot of people don't really touch. Oh, and by the way, there's actually 3 computers along the front here in these little spots here. So if you're after computer stuff, it's really good. You go in here and you turn left. There's a couple more computer rooms. There's another computer room on the other side of there. And you can find like deadly sloped beard oil and stuff on the edge here, which is required for the cap container. When you get to the back here, there's a couple of offices. Each of these offices have at least 1 computer in them. And at the back, you'll be able to find barter trade items as well along the back here. The OlI cash register key actually spawns on top of here, if you wanted to actually get that one. This door right here is the OlI logistics key, and is required for a quest. It spawns on customs, and you'll find the manifest up here. But yep, another computer in here for you to search, and you'll find some barter trade items on the back. Now, this is the OlI either administration or utility key. I'll have it up the top left for you that you can see, or top right that you can see. More computer and barter trade items in here. This key is always very cheap on the flea market, and there's not really a lot of great stuff in here, but it's worth noting that it actually exists. If you're already down there looting computers and stuff, and it costs you, you know, a little bit, just have it inside your container, your SIC case or your docs case, it does really help out overall. Now, I won't really show the bottom of it too much initially. I kind of want to go around the edges more to show you a couple of other things. There's still another key down here. As for stores on this side of the map, just from here, Texo or Techno, this is a technical store, and if you went up the escalator, Tech Light up there is another like electronics store. Both of these are really popular. I will be showing them in more detail soon. On this side, the furniture store here, along those back shelves and in the middle here is actually quite good. And there's some duffel bags and stuff in there. I want to run along back here and just show you one room. It's not a massive room to take note of, but it's just something you should know, just in case you see it open or want to know more. Now, as before, we were talking about the 2 computer rooms on the right hand side, so that's right there. And then down here, this is the other key. I think this is the OlI utility key, and the other one's the admin key. You can get different barter trade items inside the back here, like metal scissors and that. They do sell for quite a lot if you do get some of these barter trade items, particularly early. And from here, we're going to go along the back of Goshan. There's a lot to cover in this guide, so if you're new, this map's big, but it's great for making money. As the actual map size is actually not that large, but it actually just has a lot in it. Now, this is actually all changed a little bit of recent, but you can actually get ammunition and stuff up here. You can see this AK-74N that spawns up here. There's an ammo box there, and there is a grenade box here. This is actually a pretty good place to go in if you just want to get, like, weapon parts and stuff too. If you jump up on top of this right here, there's another weapon box up here. And then if you... Unless they've changed it. Or maybe it's changed. There's another weapon box up here. So you can get that one down there. And then you can jump here, get another weapon box here. And I feel like there's still one more in the container right there. So there's actually a fair few weapon boxes that you can actually get on this side of it, like just in this little area. And if you're after weapon parts or anything like that, it's really good, and you can pick up yourself some guns. Now, I won't show all the spawns along the back here, but there is heaps of toolboxes, and all these shelving along the left-hand and right-hand side is really great for barter trade items. I'm not going to show you all the spawns along there, but I definitely want to show you something that's inside this room. There's nothing that spawns in this room that I know of, so don't stress too much about that. But these shelves here on the left-hand side and the right-hand side all spawn car batteries. And when you're on that quest, you're going to be thanking me for telling you this, because it's actually really hard to find them at times. So you just got to check both sides of this. Car batteries, spark plugs. For the rest of Goshan, you've got food and mostly just food and drink spawns. And then along the front, I think, if I remember rightly, there's 32 cash registers in Goshan. So you've got these ones here. They all take the Goshan cash register key, or Goshan, I don't know what you call it. And it's the same as the idea and OlI ones. All along the front. If you're after Tushonka later on for some of the Tushonka quests, these shelves here are really good, and also on the far other side. On the back side here, there is an AK spawn, I'm pretty sure, on top of here, and ammo, and then on this side there's a weapon box. And then, I don't know if it's changed, but you used to be able to find bitcoins and gold chains in these shelves. I have not seen one in a long time, but to be honest, I haven't really looked. So these are little cabinets, and it's the same in idea as well in OlI. You see them hanging around there. See, there's a gold chain. You can actually find bitcoins and gold chains in these. Like I said, I haven't really checked them in a long time, but if I just saw a gold chain, then there's probably haven't actually changed the spawn. So it's still there. I'm going to go into this back office here, just real quick. Now, we're going to go turn the power on, but I'm going to preempt it. Inside this room is another computer room. And then when we turn the power on, there will be an alarm going off. When you go inside this room, there is actually a switch right here to disable the alarm. Now, this disables the alarm for the entire bottom floor, and there's another alarm button for the top floor. So if the alarm's gone off and it's pissing you off, or you want to stop it and you're going to go press the power, that's where the disable is for the bottom floor. Now, I'm going to just be running straight across Goshan right now, and then I'm going to head across to the power station. So I'll probably end up speeding up this part just because I don't really want to just waste your time with me just running around aimlessly. Alright, now this spot right here is probably one of the coolest spots that I use all the time. If you want to get down to the bottom floor into the basement really quickly, it's a little shortcut, and if you spawn down the bottom, it's a way to get up inside the interchange without too much of a risk. So you could actually just climb up here, and you're now underneath in the basement. If you spawn by the tanker, you can run in from the left or the right hand side, and I use this all the time. Now, as I'm running through the basement here, I'm going to be going straight to the power station on this side. If you're running to the power station, I probably wouldn't take this way. It's just, if someone spawns there, they like to camp the roof. It's a really risky way of just running up to the power station by going along the back here. But on the other side of that tanker, there's actually I'll better show it. It's a no backpack extract. You can use it at any time if you spawn on anywhere in the map. You can actually use this extract to extract from the game, but you won't be able to wear a backpack when you're doing it. So all you need to do is run up to this corner, and you can extract through the hole in the fence. Alright, I'm going to click my fingers, and we'll be teleported across to the power station that you can see right there. Alright, so we were over at that tanker when I clicked my fingers, and now we're up here. So the power station's right there. Now, there is a spawn up the top there, and you can run down here straight to the power station. There's also a spawn at the back there, and nearly someone spawns there every interchange raid. So just be very careful of that. If you are going to go to the power station after the start of the raid and you haven't spawned there, just be careful that someone will most likely be camping it or still in there. Now, I'm going to show you a bit what's going on in the back there, but I just thought it'd be probably a good way to show you kind of where the spawns are and what's going on here. There is a spawn down the road there, and I don't generally see people come down this way and go to the power station and survive. Nearly every time I hear someone come from that way, it's the easiest kill because there's no cover. And you can literally be anywhere in the power station and kill them on the way in. As for the power station itself, there is a lot of good loot around here, and it's definitely worth checking it out. There's a container inside that little shack on the outside there. There's a hidden stash located in that bush right there. Now, the car extract that sometimes spawns here costs 3,000 rubles. And if you've got one of those cash register keys, it's a way to get that 3,000 rubles easily. And then you can run over here and take the car extract if you like. As you come to the back of the power station, there's actually a lot going on in here. There is a computer, there's jackets for the keys, more computers. On these shelves, you get barter trade items. Definitely check these shelves here for G phones, 1G phones and that. There's this lot of beard oil down here. There is a KIBA store key that spawns down here. I'm pretty sure it's on the shelf right here, but I've never found it. I'll have to get confirmation. I might chuck it in on the video as well. Got your filing cabinets and more computers. As you come out here, this is where the money's made as well. They've got 2 jackets in here. You have 2 more jackets on the outside, and you have 3 toolboxes right here. 1, 2, and 3. The power that you turn on is right here, and you'll hear the lights of power go on. You run outside here after you've looted all that good stuff. You have another toolbox right there, toolbox there, and then a weapon box there. You come over to this little shack over here, and you have the power station utility key little office. You got the weapon box here, and you can find barter trade items on the ground as well. On this side, you've got the hidden stash as well. So there's a lot of loot located on this side, just in this power station area. heading up here. This is the back of Idea. And there's some really cool loot that you can get from in here. Now, you saw the back of Goshan. All those shells along the back of Goshan are pretty much the same as the barter trade islands I was talking about before. There are a duffel bag and a couple of toolboxes over there you can worry about. If you go through the sides here on the bottom side, there's more toolboxes and barter trade items there. And a toolbox over here. Something you need to take note of every time you spawn in is you need to get your positioning of where you are. So a lot of people that have issues when they're getting these maps is they don't know where they are, and so they're kind of just fumbling around. So that's why I said, like, from the Emercon, the power station's over this corner, and then railways that way, and then there's like the highway side on that. So if you spawn in one of those, like any of those locations, you kind of get your bearings, and then you can make your plan of what you're going to do throughout the map from there. Now we're going to go inside here, and I kind of want to show you from the front because it's actually probably more beneficial to you guys to actually understand it from the front. Because a lot of the time you'll be coming in from the railway side when you're spawning for Idea. So you'll come in from the front, you'll run up the escalator right there, and then you'll be going straight inside this office because this is where the money is made. There's a duffel bag there, and then the tech spawns on here. So you can get Tetrises, you can get graphics cards, all on top of here. You've got a computer on there, there, and there. And then you've got the tech spawns up here on both sides, up and down on both sides. Now you can find graphics cards and Tetrises along there. Nothing spawns on this side. I don't know why, but nothing at all spawns on that side. As you come out here, this is the best place in the game to find lions and cats. So 2 lions spawn here, 1 there and 1 there. Over this side, you've got a cat spawn and a horse spawn. The horse spawns right there. The cat spawns right here. Over here, you have a lion and a cat spawn. Oh, sorry, no, that one's a cat spawn. This is a lion and a cat spawn. So you'll have a lion and a cat that spawn there. Another lion spawn up here and a cat spawn over here. In offline mode, I find the loot's a lot less, so you actually don't see as much. Vaseline spawns on the bed. Go to Sigma, twitch.tv/Sigma to ask her why the Vaseline's on the bed. Cat spawns right here. Cat spawns right here. So there is a lot of cat and lion spawns around there. Duffel bag right here. And an ammo box right there. As for that, that's pretty much the main loot that you'll find inside Idea. I don't really mess about too much more in here. There is the duffel bag over there. And you have all the cash registers along the front. Which is the same as Goshan and OlI. Now, when you are coming up the escalators, if you're a little bit late to the map, people do camp up the top there, and it's a pretty brutal place to get killed from because of how they've got the high ground over you. But if you know they're up there, you can actually trap them quite easily. Now, coming down the escalator or at the very front of Idea, inside this office little room here, it's called the pharmacy. Inside the pharmacy, you'll find plenty of meds. I actually don't know which key unlocks this. It might be the pharmacy key. Nope. Okay. I don't know which key unlocks those cash registers, but let's try OlI, the Idea. Okay, so the Idea cash register key unlocks that one. So you've got the all the meds that spawn along the shelves here, and then the bag right there. Running back up to the top here. I'm going to show you probably the more important parts of the map to worry about outside of the main 3 stores. But you kind of want to use those 3 stores as a reference point to where you are. And then as you come over this way, the main corridor down the center is the next thing to pay the most attention to. Don't forget to loot Thomas. He hangs out in his little train right there. Now, if you're after meds, over here, you have the Emercon location. There's like 3 doors you can open to get inside here. There is a LEDX spawn in here now as well. I'm fairly confident it's here, but like honestly, I've had different reviews of where it is, but there is definitely a lead X spawn in here, which is a very valuable item. But you do need to go in here for a quest. There's an item that you need to loot from there. So check all the shelves. There are a couple of barter trade items that spawn down the back here, but mostly it's meds that you'll get inside here. Jacket, more med spawns, all long hair, and on the front here you'll see more med spawns. Now, one thing I don't really want to skip, and I know this is going to look a little bit all over the shop, but there is one more. So from Mantis, we're going, like, this is Goshan we're heading towards. That's the main corridor through there. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to understand where we're heading, so we're not disorientated. But this is the front of Goshan, and in the back here there is another computer room, just so you guys know. So if you're after computers and stuff, there is a staircase that actually goes up to the top floor there, but we're not going to be using that one. Knowing those back ways of those like back staircases is actually really good for getting flanks on people, particularly if they're on the top floor. I'm going to head back to Mantis now. And from Mantis, we're going to go... Oh, that's Emercon, sorry. This Mantis is the other medical store. Across from Mantis, this is another tech store. You can find graphics cards, Tetrises, and all the other good loot in here for computer parts. That's also good to know, that one. And you got Mantis here for more meds. Now, Killa, being the scav boss for this map, you need to be kind of cognizant of where he spawns. So, he does spawn inside Mantis, in Brutal. He can spawn just in there in National. He can spawn just on the other side of this wall here. So, right there or right there on the other side of that wall. And then he can spawn down the corridor that goes down there, which I'm about to show. As for National, so that's the middle front entrance right here to the mall. For National, there's 4 sets of filing cabinets and a heap of barter trade items in there. Mostly inside this store, you don't really find much besides maybe some cowboy hats on mannequins. Brutal, you can find a scav backpack or an MBSS backpack along the back there. And then some barter trade items along the shelves here. Mostly the main thing you find in Brutal is players and Killa. And then KIBA store right here. So I'm going to open the KIBA store up. For this one, you're going to hear the alarm because I haven't turned it off yet. And it's really annoying. So I actually feel like they turned it down. Now, to get these 2 keys, the first one is the KIBA store key, and then the second one's the great key. One of them you get from Gunsmith Part 11, which is a mechanic task. It's a part way down. The other one being either from handing in condensed milk to therapist, or you can find it through either the spawn in Goshan or in the power station. This store has heaps of weapon parts, like suppressors, sights. This is actually a really high valued store. RSAS. Early wipe RSAS is sold for a lot because people want them for their quests. And then, yeah, more weapon parts. MPX spawns on there. More guns spawn along the back here. More weapon parts. On this side, you can find grenades inside this box and on top of this box. And on top of the mannequin right here, you can find Gen 4, which is really good armor. Now, that alarm can be turned off from that button that we saw on the other side. Adik, you can find the Killa spawn right there. He can spawn right there, or he can also spawn in Generic. Generic is another store that has a lot of weapon parts and weapon crates as well. So Killa can spawn in the back of here. Now, on this side of the map, we've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to pretty much skim straight up to the top. Oh, by the way, the KIBA store can only be open once the power is on. So that's why we went and turned the power on. Down the back here, you can find heaps of tech spawns inside Rasmussen. You've got the 1G phone there. You can find graphics cards, Tetrises. And then we're going to head upstairs, past Techno. To Tech Light. Now, if you come up here late, there is going to be a very high chance that someone will be sitting right here when you come up that escalator. And you'll come up the escalator and they'll just destroy you. It's one of those areas now that's heavily camped, particularly once the power's on, or even before it. You can find stuff like graphics cards. These are like one of the more valuable items you can find. all these shelves you can check. If you want to try and loot something from the top shelf and you can't really get to it, just strafe into it and you'll just slowly walk up higher and higher, and then you can just like pick it up on the way down. And it works on both of them. If there's something on the top shelf, that's really a little handy thing to know. Once the power is on, you can open up this door here. This is the Ultra Medical door. It requires the Ultra Medical key. You can find lead X's and ophthalmoscopes in here. So the ophthalmoscope here, lead X's spawn there, and on this shelf and this shelf. Heaps of meds on the floor and up here. Also on the other side of here, you can find, there is actually a lead X spawn on the outside here, and meds that spawn along the top here. This is one of the most contested places once the power's on in particular, so stuff like ophthalmoscopes and that can be worth quite a lot. As for the rest of the top floor here, there's not too much to worry about. It's mostly just clothing stores, but if you're after stuff like the clothing materials, you can find them. It's mostly all about like flanking and tricks about getting around and getting kills on people. This top floor along the middle though, scavs are very frequent along here. This little back passage through here is actually really handy as well. It just goes back out through that way, but if you're getting shot at, don't be afraid to use the stores to get away. It's really handy. The next major thing I want to show you is located all the way down the end here, which is the actual switch to turn the alarms off for the top floor. So you come around the back here, and right here, this is the alarm button for the top floor, and that should turn off the alarms at the top floor. That alarm you can still hear is the KIBA store, which is the bottom floor alarm. Now you've got the burger shop up here. Burger spot. Now once the power is on, there is actually a key that you can use back here. I'm pretty sure it's the 11SR key. So you use the 11SR. And once the power is on, this now opens up an extract down the bottom. I'm going to show you that extract right now. So the way, if you're going to use this extract, you flick the switch like that, and you literally just run like hell down the escalator right here, straight past KIBA and out. I wouldn't mess about because someone could steal the extract on you. So it's pretty straightforward down there, and then you want to go down this hole. Now, I'm not going to overly show the basement in depth. You can look at a map for that, but the basement is really important for getting around quickly and to avoid fights. Early on in the raid, the basement can be quite scary for running into players, but later on, it's used mostly by people trying to just extract from the raid, and not so much from people camping. So down from the hole near generic, you run up and to the left, and then you've got the extract here, the 11SR extract. So inside here, you can get weapon parts along the side here. Bitcoins and gold chains and all that stuff will spawn on that right there. Pimped out M4 up there. Weapon crate, food and drink up on top of here. Now you can hit this switch here, and this opens up a shipping container, which I'm going to show. And then when you want to extract from the raid, if you don't want to go to that shipping container, you literally just lock the door and you extract the raid. It takes like 3 seconds after you extract it. And that is pretty much it for inside there. Once that door's been shut though, there's no other way of getting in or out of there. So just be cognizant of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run directly forward here and turn left. And now the power's on, there is actually another spot I want to show you. And then there is one more final spot that I'm going to show at the end. So it's going to speed run directly forward outside of this area. All right, now that we've run out of there, we're just going to turn right here. Now, when the power is on, there is another container you can open using the, I think it's called the 21 key. Unfortunately, the power needs to be on. It's on literally the opposite corner of the map to get into here. But if you're a little bit later to the map, it's perfectly viable to go in there. Have I missed? Wait, it's over here. I went the wrong way, sorry. On this side. So you literally walk up the top of here. And the key you want to use is the 21WS key. If you swap the 21WS right there, this container opens, and inside here you have a heap of weapon spawns and parts. So it might not look like it's a lot of value, but I'm pretty sure this key doesn't sell for a lot. Like, there's a night vision right there. Geeksa, another content creator, he made a really in-depth guide. He looted this, like, I don't know, a heap of times, and he worked out the value of it, and it pretty much paid for itself in the very first run. So if you're after more information on that, I might do one as well eventually, but definitely go check out his video. I got no issue promoting other good content creators and their hard work. So there's also a trooper armor that spawns in here as well. Like, that, it's definitely worth its money, but it's not the first key you should be buying for this map. Let me put it that way. So that's one spawn there. The power needs to be on for you to be able to open that up. And then, yeah. Now, I have one more spot that I want to show you. Two more spots, actually. I want to show you the Railway Extract and also the other key, or the other lever rune that was open from using that lever. So I'm going to show you that now, but I'm not going to show you me running over there because it's a long way away. So what we'll do is we'll click the fingers again. All right, from the power station, you can see right there, now that we're over here, this is literally back the other corner of the map. Power's on. The switch was flicked over in the other side, so the burger spot lever was flicked. We went down to the other extract underneath, hit the lever over there, and then from the power station, you can run underneath here, and you can see this shipping container right here that says Terror Group on the side of it. If you run around the back side of here, you'll see that it's now open. And inside here, you can find other weapon parts, gun spawn there, and I don't know really much else. I think there's a couple of like M4 spawns and stuff like that, but that's pretty much everything that's inside here. If you've already got someone over here, it might be worth doing that, but I've never actually used this ever, so I've never actually gone there. I feel like it's a really cool idea. It just needs more loot in there to make it worthwhile to do another run across the map. But that is pretty much the last bit for there. Before I run straight towards this extract, or I might just talk about it on the way to the extract. Inside this bus right here, this is on the idea side of it. The idea register key actually spawns on the seat. I'm pretty sure it's a left seat right there, but it's one of these like first 4 or 6 seats. The idea register key spawns on. If you go on past it, you might as well check it. It doesn't sell for a lot, but hey, if you find a key that's worth 60,000 rubles, it's 60,000 rubles for 1 square, so... as for the outside of this map, there are hidden stashes all the way around it. That's idea there. So if you're looking from the front of the mall, this is the left-hand side, and we're going to be heading straight towards the Railway Extract right now. As you're coming in from this side of the map, just be careful that people do spawn pretty much all along the outside. There's a spawn over on this side here. There's a spawn over near the railway, and there's also spawns along the other side there. And they all converge in towards idea. So something to just be a little bit cautious of as you're running into the map. But it's, getting inside is probably the hardest part. And then once you're inside, it's like CQB, like close quarter battle, like, where people can literally be anywhere. The people that will survive Interchange the most are the actual ones that play a little bit more slower and methodical. But the secret to surviving Interchange is never to repeat the same spot. Use all those back entrances and exits and corners and staircases to get in and out and around everything. And that way you're not wasting opportunities where you can get an easy flank, because a lot of people move really slow, particularly when they're in groups. And using those flanks, you can hit a group from the side and then run to a different side of them and get around really quickly. Now, as for extract campers, I don't really find that there's too much of an issue with extract campers on this map, personally, but you should still be worried about them. Sorry, on this extract. This map is kind of bad for it with the Emercon side, but on this extract itself, I just don't feel like people use it as much, and I think a lot more of the spawns go over the other side than this side. So you can go around the back side of it. I do it quite often. There's actually a few hidden stashes on that side, and you get those hidden stashes, and then you can actually just run in along the other side here, and then come in, like literally almost hidden the entire way. And then just run up to this little corner right here, and you'll be able to extract right here. So it's not as bad when that's the case. But if you run directly straight at it, sometimes you'll have people converging in at the same time. But whereas Emercom, that extract on the other side, people will literally just camp that all day because there's just so many spawns that go to it. And it's a pretty controversial one, a pretty controversial topic. But as for this map, I pretty much covered everything I can in a reasonable amount of time. I didn't cover the basement side of things. There are a lot of weapon crates and stuff and scav spawns in the basement. I'll have a map available in the description below anyway, so you guys can actually explore the map and have a look at the basement layout. But what I would do is you do exactly what I've done here. Go in offline mode, run around the map, do a lap of the map, go through the actual stores and just get your bearings. And then, so at least you know when you spawn into a map, which extract you've got and which choices you have. And make sure to use that no backpack extract anytime you feel like it's just worth dumping your backpack and just getting out of the raid. Say you've got like a graphics card and it's a good, or you've got a fair bit of good loot. You could chuck away your backpack. Maybe just like you might lose a little bit of rubles, but you've got a really safe extract there that not a lot of people camp, and it's always available no matter where you spawn. Anyway, guys, that is it for this part of the guide. So, guys, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, smash the shit out of the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out. Comments and likes. It really does make it so it's more discoverable. There's the rest of the map guides going up, so go check out the map playlist if you're new to Tarkov. Help you learn all the other maps and all the ins and outs of all of them. If you've got any Tarkov questions, chuck them down in the comments below. Help answer other people's questions too. It's hard for me to get to all of them. You guys comment so much these days. It's great. And yeah, I do live stream on Twitch. If you've got any Tarkov questions, you can hit me up during my live stream. And subscribe, notification bell if you want to get involved in that stuff. So really do appreciate it, guys. Lastly, I'll see you next time.